A jury has found two luxury real estate agents and their brother guilty of sex trafficking. Prosecutors accused the three Alexander brothers of using their money and influence to lure women into luxury trips and parties where they would drug, assault, and rape women for more than a decade.
What? Bro.
Our look this Chesley made you.
Chesley Major.
Yeah.
A federal jury has found three brothers, including two who were prominent real estate brokers in the U.S., guilty on all counts in their sex trafficking trial. Now, the jury reached a verdict last night in the case against the Alexander brothers. The trial lasted 4 weeks and included testimony from women who say the brothers sexually assaulted them. Now, the brothers were accused of teaming up to drug, assault, and traffic women for more than a decade.
So that's Alan, Orrin, and their brother Tal. They've been running amok in high society, and no one has been saying anything. They've been essaying women and ex-trafficking for a while now, and everybody's been closed-mouthed about it.
There are three brothers. You have Orrin, Tal, and Alon Alexander. Orrin and Tal were some of the most successful, highest-earning real estate brokers in the entire country, and Tal worked for the family-owned security firm. Alon worked for the family-owned security firm. Orrin and Tal, they were rubbing elbows with the ultra-wealthy, the elite, the upper crust of society here. And what went down is 11 witnesses delivered what the prosecution says was crushing examples of guilt. These 11 women accused the brothers of sexually assaulting them, sometimes drugging them, then assaulting them, and even recording them without their consent. So some really disturbing allegations here. Evidence in this case, much of it a digital footprint. We're talking emails, text messages, and even a blog, which prosecutors pointed to as a playbook. The blog even had a section that was titled, "It's Not Rape If." Now, the defense tried to dismiss some of this testimony. They said that a lot of these women were lovers scorned, that they were using this for personal gain.
These three brothers were very, very powerful, had a lot of pull and influence. But let's continue, Sheriff.
Should also note that none of the brothers testified in this case. So here are the convictions that actually went down yesterday in a Manhattan court. The jury found Tal, Orrin, and Alon guilty of sex trafficking charges, Tal and Alon guilty of sex trafficking a minor, and Orrin and Alon guilty of sexual abuse. Their sentencing has been scheduled for August. The brothers could face life behind bars, so some serious charges here.
So these guys pretty much knew that they were guilty. That's why they didn't take the stand. They didn't want to incriminate themselves and basically tell on themselves, so they just plead the fifth. Now they're facing a life sentence, a big L. They're facing doing the rest of their lives in prison. But I don't think it's going to go that way because money talks. Bullshit runs 100 miles, and they got plenty money. Not only do they have plenty money, they have racial immunity from the law because all three of them are YT brothers.
This is
but
really
let's continue.
The opening salvo, or the first chapter, if you will, in a slew of court cases that they are facing. So they are also facing, in the state of Florida, criminal charges. Orrin faces 3 separate counts of sexual battery in Florida. His twin Alon faces 1 count there as well. They also have civil suits and defamation suits that they are facing. So really just the first chapter in a laundry list of court cases that they're facing.
It's funny how no one is talking about this, but everybody was talking about the P. Diddy trial. I'm talking about everybody, they mammy, grandpappy, and they grandmammy. Everybody has something to say. Every news outlet, 24/7, was displaying this man's face, plastering it all over the screen, all over the United States. All the blog sites had a lot to say. Hispanic blog sites, white and black blog sites. Everybody, all the podcasters had something to say. A lot of black podcasters had a lot to say. A lot of black people, period, had a lot to say about Diddy. And I think, I'm going to go somewhere with this, but I think it's just because he's a successful black man. And many of these people are not that. And it's a jealousy thing that comes with it. It's a self-hate thing because Diddy was found not guilty for his crimes of ex-trafficking and SA. Yeah, not guilty. On the other hand, these guys were found guilty. Yes, guilty on all charges. They're headed to the can as we speak. They're just waiting on their sentence. So they going to the big house to go play with the big boys. You're going down. Now, how long they going to stay down? I can't tell. I can't tell because the way the system is built, I know it ain't long as they're trying to portray them as going to stay. They're not going to do a life sentence. They're just not. Somebody's going to either come in and pardon them, or some kind of appeal agreement is going to go on where they're going to get a lighter sentence. Now, this never, ever happens for us. When I say us, I'm talking about black people, foundational black Americans. When they throw the book at us, we get handed our ass every time. Not only do we get handed our ass by the court systems, we get handed our ass by the court of public opinion, our own people and everybody else. I mean, I was going everywhere and hearing people just out the blue talking about P. Diddy. You got people in the grocery store, people in the barbershop, people at work making jokes and talking about P. Diddy, and the man got off. Meanwhile, you got these three freakazoids doing their thing, and nobody knows anything. Nobody has even heard that they've been sentenced. Nobody heard about the trial. Nobody's looking for it. And these guys were really menace to society. Yeah, they were paid. They were rich, got bread out the kazoo. But that doesn't make you a moral person. Money doesn't make you moral. Actually, money displays and exhibits who you really are when you get it. That's what money does. So if you're an asshole, money just gonna turn you up to the 10th power. If you a jerk, money just gonna turn you up to the next exponent. That's all that is. So these guys were already monsters. 3 male monsters doing whatever they wanted to do because they had the paper to do it. And now it's finally caught up with them. And now they gotta go sit on their pockets. 3 hots in a cot, at least for now. They're gonna do some time, but I think this thing is going to go more like a half prison sentence and the rest will be probation. We just got to see how it plays out. But to be honest, I'm happy that they've been found guilty. Now, I hope they get life in prison. I hope they don't get a slap on the wrist just because they're rich, because that don't happen for me and my people. When Bill Cosby got charged, everybody rolled Bill Cosby. And the man ended up getting out of jail. They still riding today trying to get him for $60 million for a crime that happened 54 years ago that they got no evidence on. That never happens to white folk, but it always happened to me and mine. So, do I feel sorry? Not the least. I don't have a problem with it. I have daughters. And if someone essays my daughter, it's going to be some real issues and concerns. It's going to be hell to pay. I don't want these kind of guys on the street, and they don't need to be on the streets. But we just going to have to see what the court system does for these guys, because they always seem to do something for them that lets them off the hook. They always end up giving them some kind of immunity where they ain't got to face the music. But black Americans, we've been facing the music ever in a day, and it continues to go on even till this day. But I just want my peoples to get used to talking crap about what you see these folks doing. Not one news channel put this out there to the effects of every single day until they got found guilty. Not one news channel. They may have sporadically put it out there every now and then, but they did not ride these guys. Neither did YT Society ride these guys, because there are many cases that these folks do not want you to see, so they do not broadcast these cases back and forth, day and night, so it can get in your brain like they do cases of black people. But anyways, that's all I got, guys. Let me know what you think about the Alexander brothers getting found guilty, and possibly they will be serving a life sentence. Leave a comment. Do you think they should have been found guilty? Do you think they deserve a life sentence for the crimes that they committed? I would love to hear your thoughts. Get down in the comments section and leave one. Also, click that like button if you enjoyed the content. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.
Our luck this Chesley made you.
Chesley Major.